Hello everybody, welcome back to another election prediction video. In this prediction, we're going to do a scenario where Kamala Harris picks Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, as her VP choice. Now, it's most likely going to be Shapiro, the VP, so far based on the leaks I've been seeing, but I figured I may as well include Tim Walz because he's moved up there as a top 3 contender to be the vice presidential pick. So I think it's important enough to do a video on him. So let me just set up these safe states. Alaska as well. We just got to the East Coast. Alright, so I think we could head down to New Mexico and Virginia, and I'll just say it. I think Harris is good enough of a candidate to make these states pretty much out of reach for the Trump campaign. I think she'll easily win them by likely blue margins, probably 8 to 9 points each. I would expect them to go by. Maine and New Hampshire are also pretty much out of reach at this point, and they're only a small electoral prize anyway, so it kind of makes some sense for Trump to abandon them. Maine second or Maine likely are, though. Nebraska second, I think that we could put this into the likely blue column. I think with Walz on the ticket, it would help her out in the suburbs here, and the suburban trends are just good for Democrats long term in this district. Texas and Florida, however, since there's no Southerner on the ticket, these states are pretty much out of reach for the Harris campaign here. Moving on to the next few states, I think we could head to, I would say, which states do we head to next? I guess we could go to Nevada and Arizona right here. So with Nevada and Arizona, again, some polls are showing Nevada is pretty much narrowed up. Some polls even have Harris narrowly in the lead here, which is why I'm only going to put it as a tilt R state, but I think Harris could totally win this state. Arizona also appears to be a bit more out of reach than Nevada is, but again, Arizona typically underestimates Democrats. So, and I just don't think Trump's going to win Maricopa County either, and that would pretty much drag him down here a lot in Arizona. But for now, I'm going to keep this as a tilt Republican state because this looks like it's going for Trump right now. So going over to Minnesota, I think the state will be firmly locked into Harris's side here. I think Walz's VP pick will help her a lot in Minnesota. I think he helps out neighboring Wisconsin and Michigan a good amount too. I just think he would help out in this general Rust Belt area. So the state of Michigan, this is one of the swing states most likely to go to Harris. I think she'll easily carry the state if she picks Tim Walz to be on the ticket. I really don't see Harris losing the state of Michigan to Donald Trump right now. I think she'll energize the Democratic base here, turn out black voters, turn out minorities in general in this state. I think she pretty much unites most of the Democratic base in this state, honestly. I just don't see her losing Michigan to Donald Trump right now, and I think Walz as a VP pick pretty much guarantees that Michigan stays blue. Wisconsin as well, with picking Tim Walz, he would help out in neighboring Wisconsin, I would believe. I think he would help out with just in general populist voters. I think he could help turn them out for Harris. And I just think he would help out a good amount here, just in the Rust Belt generally. He does favor pretty popular policies in Minnesota. He passed a lot of good policies in the state. So I think overall he's a great pick. He'd do good with unions. He would help that union support go up for Harris as well. So I put Wisconsin as about a tilt blue state. Going down to North Carolina and Georgia, I think North Carolina is in play at this point. So I even think with a Tim Walz pick, even though he's not from the South, I think Harris would do well enough with black voters to really put North Carolina into play. But it's still a tilt Republican state. Georgia, on the other hand, we just saw recently, today, well, this would be yesterday because I'm releasing this video the next day, but I saw a Trafalgar poll that only had Trump up by 2 in Georgia. Now, Trafalgar, they heavily favor Republicans in their polls. Back in 2022, even, they had a Vermont Senate poll that put the state as likely Democratic. So they're very much Republican-biased pollster. And I think just because they have Trump up only by 2 here in Georgia, I think that alone probably makes it a lean D race. And we recently saw another poll in Georgia that had Harris up by 1. So with black turnout probably going to be very high for Harris. I think she'll do better with blacks than Biden did back in 2020. I think that's enough to make the state of Georgia go blue. When you have high black turnout, Democrats win in the state of Georgia. So I really think the state's primed to go back to the Democratic column here with most VP choices for Harris. I think she'll get that good enough black turnout to flip this state blue. Now going to Pennsylvania right here, we already did Wisconsin and Michigan. I think Walz a VP pick. He'll help out a bit in Pennsylvania. He'll probably help her out in the suburbs, help her out with union voters. And I think that's just enough to narrowly carry the state for Harris here. Also saw Susquehanna released a poll that shows Harris up here before. Saw a few pollsters show Harris up here. So the momentum's really shifting, especially the state of Pennsylvania. I think Walz is a VP pick. He helps out just enough here in Pennsylvania to make this state flip narrowly blue. So we have a whole bunch of tilt states, except for Michigan, which has lean blue, but overall, there's 3 tilt blue states and 3 tilt red states, so it's anyone's game right now, but I think Harris is a narrow favorite if she chooses Tim Walz as her VP option. So thanks everyone so much for watching. If you agree or disagree with this video or this prediction, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, if you're new to this channel, I'd highly recommend subscribing if you enjoy content like this. Other than that, I'll see y'all in the next video.